Hey everybody, welcome back to the farm. And welcome back to the repair that is my nightmare. There's the big mess I made. This is from the lime spreader. I had one of those bearings, the casing around the bearing broke. In fact, it was this one. You can see there, it broke on me. And of course, that one was the one that was all the way back here. And then there was two other ones that were in the way to get all of that off and apart. I could not get them to slide off. They were rusted on there. Some of it had paint. I actually had to break them. And then I took a grinder and ground down through them and busted them off just like that. Hang on, my screen went basically in half so I could get all the pieces off. So I have new ones here if I don't trip over my mess. Here's what the new one looks like. I have 3 of these to put on now. Ordered these off Amazon, made in the USA. I think there was 2 of them for 25 bucks delivered here. So I have 4 now since they come in pairs of 2. So I'll have an extra one, so that's good. And now my hand's all greasy. So I'll just walk you through the repair a little bit here. I'm not really going to show a whole lot of it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a flap disc and I'm going to go through and clean all this up and get it kind of back down to bare metal because I have to slide 3 of these on here. So that's going to be step 1. Nobody needs to see me use a grinder. It's pretty boring, but I will show you a couple of steps along the way on what I'm doing to put this back together. Okay, made some progress here. For those of you that have to deal with these guys, you can see here I just, like I said, took a flapper disc there on the grinder. I got all the old paint and primer off, all the old rust off, and then these guys slid right on nice. They have little set screws to hold them in position. Each one has 2 set screws. So I had a little trouble getting them in. The holes on these are just the tiniest bit shorter, maybe a little less than 1/8 of an inch shorter this way than the old ones, so it was a little bit of a battle. And the other thing I found on the side here, I don't know if you can see that, I ended up putting a washer underneath each of these because this thickness here was just a tiny bit thinner than the old one back there. You can see the old red one. So when I put this on, it was kind of hanging here and it wasn't touching. And then I looked over and I saw that they were different thicknesses. So the one washer on each beefed it up perfectly where we need it to be. So if you buy any of these guys that are, I'll kind of call them aftermarket because I could have called the company and probably gotten the exact ones that were on here. But I didn't want to wait because the company, where are they? Georgia or something? I don't know. Anyway, so just be aware of that. If you order aftermarket ones or just general ones, that there may just be the slightest differences. You might have to monkey with them because these guys are used on all kinds of different projects. I've seen them on everything, so just be aware of that. I didn't realize that they looked about the same in the picture, but anyway, so I got that on. I got to get this position this way. It looks like it lines up pretty good here. I got to get that and then get the set screw set. And then the next thing is the wheel has more of those bearings on it that bolt in these holes here. So we're going to get that bolted back up, and the end of that has a drive shaft in it that hooks into that box over there. So we got to get all that put back together, and so that'll be the next thing I'm working on. Okay, day 2 of this project. Let's see, it's about two days later from the original first part of the video, and it's a lot colder and rainier out today. But so what I did, I got this wheel here put back on. This is kind of the drive wheel that drives everything. And we have this cylinder here which engages the drive wheel. So originally when I got this thing, for those of you who didn't see the videos, the repair video series I did on this spreader originally did not have a hydraulic cylinder on it. It looked like it was kind of set up for one, but it had sort of a manual handle up there thing. Didn't really work well. So I wanted to be able to turn it on and off without having to get on and off the tractor 8 million times. So I put a cylinder here. I mean, it pretty much looked like it was ready for one. Problem is, the shortest one I found was this one, which I believe they consider a 12-inch. It has an 8-inch stroke on it, let's put it that way. Well, that's too long, and that's how I broke this. I ended up extending the cylinder too far, which basically would turn that off, and the tire used to be up here further. So it ended up smashing into here, and it ended up breaking that guy right there. So it was completely my fault. So what I've done now is I ordered a small cylinder. I couldn't find one locally. This is kind of the smallest size that people sell locally. So I ordered this one. This has a 4-inch stroke on it, and I'm hoping that'll be just long enough to engage and disengage this without jamming, there's a drive shaft down there and stuff, without jamming everything together. So I pretty much have this put back together. I don't have everything tightened perfectly yet because I want to make sure it's going to work, but it's all roughly put together. So what I need to do is take this cylinder out of here and kind of try and do a little bit of a mock-up here with this one without hooking the hoses up, and just see if this is actually going to work for me. Hopefully this short cylinder will solve the problem, and I won't have any more issues, and it'll be good to go. So I'm going to play with this a little bit, and I'll let you know what happens. All right, well, we pretty much got everything put back together. I just finished doing some tacks. I got to knock the slag off that, but these two bolts that are here, when you go to put the pressure of the tire on the tire, sometimes they slide. So back here you can see those spots. That's where the old cylinder was. So the new cylinder, I just tacked that. I got to clean that up, touch the paint up there. Not sure what I'm going to do here with this shaft. I guess I should try and paint it a little bit or something to keep it from rusting, but I got it all put back together. Small cylinder here. It's not as small as I thought it was going to be. The other one had an 8-inch stroke. This was supposed to have a 4-inch stroke. It's actually 4.5. I don't know a lot about hydraulics. Maybe that's normal, but it kind of messed up the geometry here. When that goes forward, that goes backwards, and vice versa. So the shorter it was, or should have been, the better. I really probably could have got away with one with like a 2 or 3-inch stroke, but I didn't find one quick when I was looking. So, but I got it all put back together. This tire used to be up here. I moved it down. It was still too close, so I shimmed it out temporarily with some washers just to pull it back a little bit. If that works out, then I'll actually put a full piece of steel in there and make that a good repair. I had to extend the chain. There's the chain here that runs down. Because I dropped the tire down, it dropped the axle down, and I had to extend the chain, so I did that. I greased everything up. So yeah, I think it should be good to go, but hopefully. So all right. Oh, sorry. Any questions about any of the repairs or anything here? I didn't really do like a how-to, just kind of showing you what's going on around here. This is actually day 3 of this project. I've probably been at it for 2 hours today. The other day with the short clip, I probably spent 40 minutes was all I had. And then prior to me shooting the video, I probably spent another 2 or 3 hours ripping it all apart. So I have a lot of time in this, and it's hard to know exactly what to film and what not to. So if you have questions about something and I can help you out in any way, just let me know. So anyway, that's that. We won't be using this thing for a while. Everything's too wet. But anyway, enough of me rambling on. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe, hit the bell icon, all that stuff there for me, please. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next video.